Hey guys, it's the Pink King here. Oh boy, we're in for an exciting week, aren't we? Deadpool and Wolverine! It's releasing tomorrow, and there's already plenty of early reviews that are just praising the movie. So many 10 out of 10s and comparisons to Spider-Man No Way Home. This movie seems to be, once again, bringing back excitement to the MCU. But is it enough? Now, it's no secret that the MCU has been going through a very tough time after Endgame. It wasn't immediate, but gradually each release from Marvel has been on a downward trajectory, you could say, with a lot more flops than hits. Now, you do have hits like Spider-Man No Way Home, Guardians 3, and Loki Season 2, but the scale has shifted drastically, with most releases now either being okay at best or incredibly moronic. It's crazy to think a franchise that used to be unstoppable is now almost entirely hated in only a few short years, with so many people sick of the fact that they have so much ambition but none of the commitment anymore. But as I said in the beginning, Deadpool 3 has brought a lot more interest back to the MCU that hasn't been there since No Way Home. So if I were Marvel, I'd use this opportunity as a way to reintroduce the new MCU, or help wash that awful taste out of everyone's mouth. But how do you do that exactly? How can Deadpool save the MCU? Well, I actually think the answer is a lot more simple than what people would believe. It's not fire Kevin Feige or throw out politics entirely like some YouTube grifters would have you believe, but instead, slow down. It's no secret that Marvel is insanely harsh with their release dates and forcing unrealistic deadlines on directors and VFX studios to get everything done on time, with possibly Marvel's biggest victim of this being She-Hulk. To me, She-Hulk embodies everything wrong with the current MCU. Lazy writing, awful effects, unfunny, and boring. It should be a crime for how uncreative and boring they handles this character, making her come across more like a jerk than a deep, genuine character. And all this is due to Marvel rushing this show when they should have just taken their time with it. The MCU has grown exponentially, so I think audiences won't exactly mind if you take a bit longer to make something, because no matter what, they're always going to be there if you just take a break considering how big of the franchise the MCU is. Also, when it comes to slowing down, they need to stop making so much content. It's legit the definition of quantity over quality. After all, you can remember every movie in Phase 1, because there weren't that many and all were unique to each other. But most people I know don't even know that we're in Phase 5 currently. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that either. We're currently in Phase 5 of the MCU. You see what I mean? It's too much of the same thing that now it's hard to remember what phase we're even in. But I'm sure most of you already know a lot of this. But what about the stuff you don't know? Well, I personally believe a way they can make the MCU better is to cut back on the shows. One big issue people have had with Marvel is that they don't want to watch so many shows just to know a single character. The only exceptions are the ones that aren't directly a part of the main MCU timeline. You know, stuff like Loki or What If. Those ones actually work because they won't affect directly what comes next, and thus feel more like a bonus treat rather than homework. So essentially, stop introducing characters and having major events happen through shows. Keep them simple movies. Stuff like Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and Ms. Marvel all would have been far better if they were all introduced through solo movies rather than a TV show. They can still have shows, but make them bonuses rather than a mandatory, like What If or Loki. Another thing they need to do is find a structure. Find a goal to work towards. You don't have to have it all planned out from the start, but have a rough idea on where to go from the beginning. Just like the early films leading to Thanos, they didn't know what exactly they were going to do or how they were exactly going to do it, but they had a goal they wanted to reach at some point, that being get all the characters to Thanos. Not only will this be easier by releasing less content, but you could still have your big Avengers level movie events. All they have to do is to take 3 to 5 films in one phase, and center them around new characters like Moon Knight, and even have some of those movies be sequels to prior characters, like Thor as an example, to then ending on either an Avengers movie, No Way Home movie, or a Deadpool 3. Smaller movies that lead up to a bigger one. This system, if you do it right, can be sustainable, and there's proof of this already happening, because just look at early Marvel through phase 1 to 3. This is the very formula they were implementing back then, and I don't know why they decided to abandon that now. But probably the biggest thing they need to learn from Deadpool 3 is let creators have creative control. It's no secret that Marvel likes to take away a lot of the control from the directors, most infamously Edward Norton's Hulk. A big issue people have had is that each Marvel movie now feels the same stopping the end of the world story, when in reality, you don't need to do that. Let people get creative with it. Let people try something new with the genre. Like how the Russo brothers did with Captain America the Winter Soldier, or James Gunn with the Guardian movies. They all took the formula of a superhero movie and expanded on it and explored new territory. But obviously, you can't give these creators endless control, so give shorter budgets. Too many movies and the shows in the MCU are given around $300 million budgets, when in actuality, sometimes having a lesser budget can force people to get creative. After all, the first Deadpool movie, one of the most beloved modern superhero movies ever, was only $50 million, and even bigger films like Ragnarok only had $170 million budgets. Sometimes you can do more with less, so if the MCU wants to save itself, it ultimately needs to come down to all those things I've said. Number 1, slow down on releases. Just take your time, stop overloading everyone with content, and go at a steady pace. 2, find a worthwhile goal to build towards. Have something that people can get invested in, people can get excited for, that people can look for little details to see coming. Something that gets people wanting to see this go on and not feel like an aimless journey. And 3, and finally, get creative. Stop settling for the same boring end of the world story. Stop settling for the same boring epic CGI fights. Get crazy with it. Get weird with it. Do something like James Gunn with Guardians. Do something with the Russos and Captain America. Just get weird with it. Get strange with it. It's a very weird genre, the superhero genre. We need to embrace that more. In short, the MCU is still a lot of fun, and I really hope Deadpool 3 is good, but considering Marvel and Disney's handling of other franchises, it's very hard for me to say whether or not I think they'll learn the right lessons here, which is a big shame. I hope they do, but I'm not holding my breath on it. Can Deadpool save the MCU? Definitely. But it's more of a fact of whether the studios want to admit they've messed up or not. That's what I feel is holding this franchise back. People not seeing the problems that are there, but just going with whatever they can. But what do you guys think? What else do you think Marvel needs to do to get people excited again? Let me know in the comments. I'm really interested to hear what you guys have to say about this, because this has been a topic I've wanted to talk about for a fair bit now. And now that Deadpool 3 is around the corner, I think it's about time we talk about it a bit more. So tell me in the comments, what do you think about this? And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe. My goal is to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we are so close to doing that. And with your help, we can definitely do that. So comment down below your thoughts, subscribe right now, and with that, I'll see you all next time.